FM station, WDWL TV, and your Grumpy Studio. With great anticipation, we bring you the pride of this station. The grumpy old man, me, and the grumpy vulture. Oh, God, you're going to take a bow? Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Bow time. Oh, my God, you're an asshole. Get back in your corner. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. You'll gladly look at the camera. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Greetings, friends. Oh, just when you can't. Oh. Do you believe him? Look at that. Look. Because I made fun of him saying he wasn't press. So, today he's a reporter. Yeah, what are you going to report on? The latest roadkill that you ate? Well, I did a lot of playing around with Prism today. As you can see, I moved the counter, and I changed the color of the audio to red, and I actually made the chat larger so I can read it. Yeah. All I have to do is follow instructions, and there we go. I remembered when I put the clock up there, how you change things. Here's how it went. In order to change the color on the audio, I click on the audio visualizer. Then, on the left corner of the screen, it says Properties. You click on Properties, and it opens the box for how you want to put the audio up and color. Then you click on color, and then I go back down and click on the audio visualizer, and it's done. Just that easy. Same thing with the chat. I went in, clicked on Prism Chat, went over and clicked on Properties, and then it gives you a multitude of fonts. So I just kind of scrolled through the different fonts. I found this one. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Presenter or something like that. And then I clicked on bold, and voila! I can read the chat from here and not squint like yesterday. I was like, oh God, what the hell's going on here? So, with a little help from my buddy across the pond, and what I did, I made notes. Yeah, I have a cheat sheet now. Because in order to change, like, any of the audio visualizer or the count viewer up here. In order to change anything, it's the same process. You click on the item, you go to properties, you click on properties, it brings up that screen. Piece of cake! So easy, a 73-year-old could do it. I didn't have to bring in a 5-year-old kindergartner in order to show me how to do it. So, I send off an email to Mears because I want to see if I can run 2 cameras at once. There's one content creator I follow, and she has the main camera on herself and a secondary camera on her dogs. And the way she runs her channel, while she's showing a video and commenting, if somebody sends in a super chat, the doggies get milk bones. No. If somebody sends in a chat, a paid chat, if they send in a super chat, they get duck feet. Oh, those are the most disgusting. It looks worse than what this asshole here brings into the studio. Yeah. If they get a super chat, the dogs get duck feet. Mmm. Yummy. And then her co-host was saying that, I don't go to pet food stores anymore because they got too goddamn expensive. And for what my cat eats, I can get it at my local little store. Well, besides duck feet, they have cow's knees. Oh, cow's knees. And, get this, beef thorax. Oh my God. The shit that, well, at least they're no longer wasting the animal. Yeah, they're saving the knees and the goddamn intestines and, yeah. Beef thorax, duck feet, cow's knees. The next time. Now, they don't care for me too much. I'm going to go in the chat, and I'm going to ask them, is it possible your pet food store might sell freeze-dried bull assholes? I'll get banned for life. Now, the dogs, they don't do no tricks or anything. They just get milk bones, duck feet, cow's knees. Yeah. And then they lay back down. And then somebody sends a $2 chat. Oh, milk bone time. And the dogs are always on camera. A little square box in the corner. So, Grumpy's thinking, get a second camera and just have my 22-pound fatso cat laying here. Yeah. No treats. He's fat enough the way it is. But just have a camera on him. Laying there, sleeping. Yeah. Just an idea. Because, the bird is already on camera. But my cat won't. He won't go near that bird. No. I was going to say he could sit up here with the bird, but he don't trust that son of a bitch. So I'd have a camera, and I'd bring in my cat's little blanket that he sleeps on, and have a camera aimed at it. I know, boring as fuck. You're going to have a sleeping cat. I like my cat. My tuxedo. Yeah, he's a tuxedo cat. His tuxedo's a little stretched out, though. I'm not seeing Jenny yet. Jenny, where are you? Jenny, where are you? Jenny's probably wrapping eBay packages right now. She can't be bothered with Grumpy. But I see the regulars. Oh, Peace Dynamo. Hello there. Welcome. We got a new name in the chat. Now, you might have been there yesterday, but it was so goddamn small I couldn't read all the names. So, if today's your first day, you're in for a treat. Well, I don't know. The lighting guy was in today. He installed this new big fancy LED above me. And he took out the halo. I don't like this light. It's too frickin' bright. And I can't dim it down any. Let me see if I can turn the damn thing. It's too bright. God. Maybe do that. There we go. He'll come in tomorrow and go, who fucked with the light? It must have been the cleaning lady. Yeah, I'm going to tell him to take this one out. It's about this big. It's a square, big square. I mean, it's a nice light, but it's too... You can't dim it anymore. Let me see. Maybe if I go... You can go... That's too bright. Whoop, off. Warm. That's supposed to be warm. Warm light. Oh, that's warm. That's warm. That's warm. And that's daylight. I'm going to leave it on warm. It's not that bright, but I don't care for it. The lighting guy, I'm going to tell him, bring back the halo. Yeah. It's the only time I'll ever have a halo is the light above me, but yeah. I shouldn't complain. The station actually spent some money for a new LED light, but I don't care for it. It's gotta go. Maybe I'll move it back and put it over the bird. No, he don't need no more light. I wish I could dim it down just one. See, the halo I was able to work with, but this one, that's as dim as it'll go, and it's on warm. Warm light. Oh, yeah. Warm. Yeah. ran up to my little corner store today. Not the grocery store. The one with the two Indian brothers. And they've been telling me they have a shipment coming in from the motherland. Well, it arrived. I no sooner walked in the door, and both of the brothers are like, "Cookies are here!" I was like, "New cookies? Now." I was telling you about these coconut cookies that they get from the motherland. They're made somewhere in India. They are outstanding. I mean, they're better than any of the goddamn cookies, Chips Ahoy or... So, they got these new Indian cream horns. Now, you know what a cream horn is. It looks like a cornucopia with cream in it. Well, these are Indian style, which kind of scares me. When he said, "Oh, we got Indian cream horn," I said, "Do they have curry in them?" No curry. I was like, okay. Because I'll tell you what, that Indian curry, holy shit. I don't know how they eat that hot food. Oh my God. I had something, what the hell was it? Vindaloo, I think they said it was. It was fire going in and fire going out. Holy. And the little kids are sitting there eating the stuff like it's, breakfast cereal. I was like, oh my God. That and what the hell was that tandoori chicken I had? I says to him, "Do you make anything that's edible?" And they just kind of looked at me like, "What?" I said, "Every goddamn thing you've given me to taste is like a Hawaiian volcano." And then they look at me like, "No, Hawaii, India." Sometimes they don't quite catch Grumpy's humor. And you would think after 4 years. So, they gave me a box of these Indian cream horns to try for free. Every time they get something new in, they're like, "I'm the guinea pig, the American guinea pig. We'll give it to the American guinea pig. Here, you try. Then if I'm alive the next day when I come back, oh, he survived." But yeah, I'm kind of anxious to try them after dinner tonight. I hope they're not fucking hot, because I'm having, yesterday, I told you I got some Slovenian sausage. Well, I looked at the label today. It's hot Slovenian sausage, not regular, hot. Now, sometime hot is like, oh, not bad. And then other times it's like, oh! So I'm hoping it's on the mild side of hot. But, oh, do they look good. And smell good. Oh. So, tonight, for dinner, hot Slovenian sausage. See, my grandparents on my father's side. My grandfather was Hungarian, and my grandmother was Slovenian. So I had the best of both worlds there. On my mother's side, which they lived out in California after my grandfather retired. He retired to California. Well, they're German Irish. So no real foods that, well, Wiener Schnitzel. I love Wiener Schnitzel. But, you know, that's the German. Irish food, how many ways can you make a potato? Just kidding. But really, I've never heard people brag about Irish food. Now, maybe Irish food is kick-ass, but I've never heard anybody say, oh, you gotta try this. Never heard anybody brag about Irish food. Now, German food. I love German food. As a matter of fact, we got a little German restaurant up around the corner. And they make Wiener Schnitzel to die for. And homemade dumplings, not poured out of a package. No, Grandma's back in the kitchen making the dumplings. So, it's authentic German food. But boy, I'll tell you what. That and sauerbraten. Oh my God. That woman can make sauerbraten to kill for. I'll tell you what. The only problem is, since that virus, their prices have really gone up. Grumpy cannot afford to just drop in for a casual meal anymore. No. You know, for what I'm paying for one meal today, before the virus, you know, I could have two and a couple of drinks. Can't afford that no more. Although, I don't do the date thing anymore either. For fear some woman will want to put her claws into me. No, I'm not doing it 5 times. No, 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 no. But yeah, before the damn virus, you know, me and a friend, we could go up, have dinner. I could have a couple of brewskis and she could have a couple of cocktails. It wasn't too bad. Now, that's the price of one meal. I'm going to miss that food. I really am. But to me, you know, I draw a line at cost. No meal is worth that kind of money. No. Sorry, you lost a customer. And although Grandma, now everybody's going to gag here now. Grandma makes pickled pig's feet to die for. Those I will go in and get because I can get them to go. But, oh, yeah. And I love them because my grandfather used to eat them. And my grandmother would sit there and go, do you know where those came from? What? The farm they came from? No, it's not on the jar. No, she goes, do you know what those are? Well, yeah. Pig's feet. You know where those feet were? Yeah. they don't cut them off the pig and throw them in a pot and cook them. They do clean them and sanitize them. I mean, yeah, my grandmother, if she didn't like a food, she would really poke holes in it, like, you know where those came from. Yeah. And the interesting thing is, we call them pig's feet here, which they are. Across the pond, I'm pretty sure they call them trotters. Kind of a disguised name. Yeah, trotters. First time I heard my buddy say, yeah, I'm going to have some trotters, I'm like, oh my God, you shot a horse? Please, no. And then he said, they're pig's feet. Then why don't you call them that? You have to disguise the name in order to get people to eat them. Although I think you make them a different way. Not like we make them here. Although I've never had anybody tell me about them, so I'm just guessing. I don't know if you pickle them. See, here we pickle them. Although I'll tell you what, my father used to make a dish. Enough that I'm gagging already just thinking about it. He would go down to the market and he would buy pig's feet and pig's ears. Then he would throw them in a big pot, cover them with water, throw in some carrots, and then boil the shit out of them. And the longer they boiled, the more they stunk. And I guess when the odor got to the point of smelling like a decomposing body, he would ladle out the juice into bowls. And then he would ladle out some feet and some ears. And then he would carry the bowls carefully down into the basement and put them on a card table. And then cover them up with newspaper. So that nobody had to see them, I guess. And then after sitting for about 4 days, they turned into this disgusting jelly. And it looked disgusting. Pig's ears and feet in jelly. And then he would eat that stuff. Ugh! And he would always go, you want to try some? No, thank you. But it's part of your Hungarian heritage. I'll do without that part of the heritage, thank you. I'll be generous. All them bowls downstairs, they're all yours. Oh, it was the most disgusting shit on earth. And he would make it like once a month. We would no sooner get the stench out of the house, and he would, here we go, big pot on the stove. Ugh. I'm gagging just thinking about it. And the last time I saw that stuff, I was like 18. Ugh. Now, my grandfather said that was what they called depression food. It's not the Depression. It's the late 50s. But yeah, although during the Depression I can understand. everything was scarce. I guess the only thing you didn't eat from a pig was the oink. It wasn't depression. It was the late 50s. I was about 8, 9 years old. Most hideous goddamn stuff on earth. I didn't even want to bring a bowl up from the basement, I would come in the house and he'd say, "Oh, wait a minute, before you come up here, run down the basement and bring me up a bowl." Really? I don't even want to look at the stuff, let alone touch it. I'd bring it up and I'd go, Then he'd ladle a spoonful out and go, "Here, you want to try some?" Not if I was, on my deathbed and it was the only thing in the world to eat. No, thank you. Oh, God. Blah. Disgusting. I'm going to have to stop up at the little German place and I'll have to call first because Grandma don't make the pickled pig's feet on a regular basis. I'll have to call and say, "You got any?" "No." "When's the next time Grandma's going to do them?" 2 weeks? Okay. I can wait. Now, go in, get some pig's feet and say, "Hey, you got any free samples of sauerbraten or, anything that maybe licked a spoon or something?" Yeah. "Oh, I missed that. But I'm not going to pay twice the price." No. Getting to the point you can't afford to eat the way it is. Bad enough goddamn eggs. Eggs, that used to be a cheap item. Now, you make egg salad, it's a luxury. "Oh, I'm going to make some egg salad." Oh, easy on the eggs. Before the price got ridiculous, I'd toss a dozen in a pan and hard boil them and eat them, every now and then for a snack. Not no more. Now, it's sad when you have to sit there and go, "Am I going to hard boil this egg or do I want to make it over easy?" Tough decision. Yeah, yesterday I looked small. They're like the size of a golf ball. Easy. Small. $6.48 a dozen for small. I used to buy jumbos. I didn't even look at that end of the egg case. Oh, I can imagine. You would think in today's world, all the modern technology, they would come up for a cure for this bird flu. I read an article the other day, they've killed like 16 million chickens. I was like, oh my God. No wonder egg prices are sky high. Just as I signed off last night, I remember I told you I loved driving limo? Well, I'm going to tell you about the worst limousine trip I ever had. As a matter of fact, I didn't even finish it. I get this trip to go to Cleveland Hopkins Airport and pick up MC Hammer. So, I'm standing here with my sign, and one of his entourage walks up, yanks the sign out of my hand, and said, "We don't want to make a scene in the airport." Excuse me? That's how I let you know I'm here. Everybody, all the chauffeurs have signs. He don't want to make a scene. So, here comes MC, making sure everybody in the airport can see him. Walking through the airport. We don't want to make a scene. And he's almost going like, "Can you see me? I'm a big star. Here I am." So we get to the car. And he goes, "I asked for a Lincoln. I guess we didn't have one. Might have been reserved. I don't know. I wanted a Lincoln." It's a limo. What's the big deal? You're inside of it. Cadillac, Lincoln, it's a limo. I wanted a Lincoln. So, I get on the phone. MC wanted a Lincoln. I told him. He wants a Lincoln. I know they're all out. I know they were all reserved. If they weren't, I would have one. He don't want to get in the car. He wants a Lincoln. Can we swap with somebody? I'm tired of taking a parking space at the airport here. Traffic wants to get by. You'll call me back? Make it quick. Now, mind you, he's pacing like a little 2-year-old. He won't get in the car. I'm blocking traffic. I'm getting bugged by the police. I'm like, "Hey, he won't get in the car." The cop said, "Why?" "Because it's not a Lincoln." "Well, what are you going to do here?" "I've got one on the way." So about 20 minutes and the Lincoln gets here. Unfortunately, it's not a super stretch. It's a stretch, but not a super stretch. He's like, "It's too short." You wanted a Lincoln. It's too short. I get on the phone. Again. He won't get in the car. Now what's the problem? It's too short. I know the super stretch is reserved for a wedding. Can you lie and say it's broke down and bring me it before you ship it out? You'll call me back? Okay. So now the cop's up my ass again. Lincoln. I said he won't get in it. Now what's the problem? It's too short. The cop said it's too short. Yeah, he wants a super stretch. We only have one. And it's white. So I said to his personal assistant, are we going to have a problem with a white super stretch? Oh, he doesn't like white. Oh, no. I said, will you tell him it's the only super stretch we have? He said, he'll take it, but he's not happy. So dispatch calls me back and said, I lied. The white one's on the way to the airport. I said, oh, thank God. So it shows up. And he's like, a gray interior? Oh, Jesus. You got a super stretch. Your ass is just going to be riding in it to the venue. So he finally gets in it, along with his entourage and 742,000 suitcases. On the way to the hotel, everything is, yo, my man. Yo, my man. I'm ignoring him because I gave him my name when he got there. So I'm ignoring him. Yo, my man. Finally, the divider window comes down, and his assistant taps me on the shoulder and said, Mr. Hammer is calling you. Really? I didn't hear him. You didn't hear him? No, I didn't hear Mr. Grumpy. He was calling you. I didn't hear my name. He was calling you. Oh, you mean that yo ma, whatever? That's not my name. Will you please answer to it? You're upsetting Mr. Hammer. I wanted to turn around and say, hey, fuck you. He's upsetting me. I'm glad his ass finally got in the fucking car. So, every 5 minutes, yo, my man, this, and yo, my man, that, and yo, my man, this. So we get to the hotel, and we get his 746,000 suitcases out of the goddamn car, and I called dispatch, and I said, I'm not finishing this trip. What do you mean? There's a big tip in this. I said, I don't care if it's $1 million fucking dollars. Send somebody, I'll trade. I don't care if I have to take a trip to Los Angeles. I ain't doing the rest of this trip. So the dispatcher's begging me, please, you're liable to upset him. Upset him? He's upset already because he don't have a black fucking super stretch. He has to sit in a white super stretch with a gray leather interior. and I'm tired of hearing, yo, my man. Now, either you send somebody to trade with me, or I'm going to leave Mr. Yo, my man at the goddamn hotel, and I'm coming back with a super stretch. Okay, we'll find somebody. So they find somebody to switch with me. And the guy shows up, one of my co-drivers. Now, Mr. Yo, my man is upstairs in his hotel room. So my buddy says, what's the problem here? I said, first of all, we wasted an hour and a half at the airport because he wouldn't get in the car. And then I said, every 10 minutes it's, yo, my man. Well, I'm not yo, my man. I don't want to finish this trip, even though there is a large tip in it. You can have it. So we trade. I'm driving his trip to Toledo. Okay, 2-hour ride up, 2-hour ride back. He comes down out of the hotel room and he says to the driver, where's yo, my man? So he tells him, he says, we had to switch. Why? Dispatch screwed up the trips. I was supposed to be your driver. Clerical error at the office. I want yo, my man. I'm on my way to Toledo, and I ain't turning around. And the dispatcher calls and goes, he won't get in the car. Now what? He wants you back. Oh, no way. You'll lose a customer because I'll drive his ass into the fucking lake. I ain't going back near him. Well, what seems to be the problem? Now, I didn't tell the dispatcher this previously. I said every 5 minutes, he's calling me. Well, what's the problem there? He's calling me by yo, my man. I am not yo, my man. So I'm on my way to Toledo to pick this guy up and bring him back to Cleveland. I ain't turning around. About 15 minutes later, the dispatcher calls. He won't get in the car until he knows you're coming back. I ain't coming back. I don't care what language you use, what dialect you use. You make it clear that if I come back, this limousine service will probably be sued for $1 million because I will unleash on him. So he was pissed. I don't know why. Maybe because he liked insulting the shit out of me. Needless to say, the driver that took that trip as a favor to me didn't get the big tip because he didn't have yo, my man. Biggest asshole on earth. And I'll tell you what, I told everybody about his attitude. But I don't know what it was. whether he just enjoyed insulting a little white boy, I wasn't standing for his shit. And I think any place that he had gone where he had chauffeur service, I think they put up with his ass because he's a star. No. Grumpy only takes so much bullshit. I don't care who you are. I have a name. I am not Yo, my man. Most disgusting asshole I ever had. And I'll tell you what, I worked for that limousine service for 2 years. I drove many stars. I drove dignitaries. I drove sheiks. Never once was I insulted. But see, stardom went to his head, and he figured he could wipe his feet on anybody. I'm not a doormat. And I think that pissed him off. Unfortunately, my buddy who took the rest of the trip didn't get that big tip. You know, there ain't nothing that says you have to be insulted and live with it. No. Mr. MC Hammer, I'll tell you what, when he wouldn't get in the car at the airport, I was looking for a construction crew because I was looking for about a 20-pound sledgehammer to use on Mr. Hammer. I told the dispatcher, I said, there'll be bloodshed if I'm forced to come back and drive his ass the rest of the day. Needless to say, I paid for it. Oh yeah, the owner of the limousine service, he started to lecture me. I went, hey, let me tell you something. I don't have to put up with being insulted. I don't care. You're paying my, you're signing my paycheck. No. You want to fire me? Go ahead. I've been fired from better people than you, believe me. It's 2 words. You're fired. Have a nice day. I was looking for a job when I came here. I'll be looking again. I don't care. So, make up your mind. Either I'm still an employee or I'm going out the door. You got 5 minutes. I'm an employee? Okay. I'll be here tomorrow morning. See ya. I didn't need a lecture. Even though he was older than me and I was taught to respect my elders. Yo, my man. And anytime I hear this, yo, or bro and yo sound real close, yo. My blood boils because I think of MC asshole. And I didn't think his music was that great anyway. Although I'm not into that kind of music. But I was taught from a very young age by my grandfather that you do not have to stand there and take an insult. Because you and the person insulting you put your fucking pants on the same way, one leg at a time. Just because you got money, don't make that person better than you. And believe me, that was ingrained in my memory banks. Anybody that insulted me, oh, they got the wrath of Grumpy. And I'll tell you what, I got fired from a couple of jobs for standing up for my rights. You own it? No. That's where you draw a line. Insulting a person just because you're a big star. Yo, my man. And he kept doing it, knowing he was irritating me. Had I not killed myself, I would have aimed for a bridge abutment and wrapped that limo around it. Yo, my man. I liked it when his secretary or whoever he was put the window down. Tap me on the shoulder. Mr. Hammer is calling you. Really? I didn't hear my name. He's calling you. What's he calling me? Yo, my man. That's not my name. Here, have another business card. Give it to him. It's got my name on it. It doesn't say, yo, my man. Oh, yeah, I guess he was pissed when he come out of that hotel and still had the white super stretch with the gray leather interior with a different driver. And the other driver was black. See, I don't think he felt right insulting another kinsman. He wanted to try to play better than me with the white boy. Sorry, didn't work. I got a squeak in my throat every time I inhale. I must have swallowed a cat toy or something in my sleep. Yeah, I got a wheeze. The hell? It won't go away. There, it went. It must have been stuck, whatever it was. I don't know if it was coming through the microphone. It was wheezing. Every time I take a breath, it was like, what the hell? Am I dying here on stream? I can't do that. I got a show to keep going. I kind of like the red audio. You can see it. Not that it's that important. But yeah, I was able to change it to red. And I slid the counter over. And I did mess with the time. I changed the numbers. And then I was like, no. And I put them back. But now I can read the chat without squinting. And it looks good. It's just big enough. It's just big enough. Where's Jenny tonight? I had a question for her. Tonight she's not here. What, she take Friday off? On her way to the post office with a bunch of eBay packages? I don't see her name in the chat. She's the one that didn't want me to stop last night. She kept going. More stories, more stories, more stories. And tonight, I tell a good story and she's not here. Jenny, it's since she'll be listening later, it's not that good in playback. It's always better live. Just remember that. I wanted to tell her I've got her eBay link. I'm going to go in tomorrow morning and scan. Now I know she sells them poke my man, poke something. Although I'll tell you, I've been watching Michigan court. Now I'm sure, see, we don't broadcast that shit in Ohio. The judges are like, no. They do, live stream up in Michigan. It's amazing how many shoplifters steal Pokemon cards to resell for frickin' drugs or something. I am going to have to look and see what the hell Pokemon cards are. Because it's amazing how many shoplifting cases the judge will read. Okay, stole 2 sweaters, a pair of athletic shoes, and 5 packs of Pokemon cards. What? Yeah. Are they that valuable? I never heard of them. But they steal like hell up in Michigan from Walmart. At least, if they have, say, 5 shoplifting cases, at least 3, part of the theft items are Pokemon cards. I didn't think they were that valuable, I guess. But yeah. Evidently, I mean, probably all 50 states. I've never heard of them around. Although, I don't read the police blotter like I used to. Every morning, I would read the police blotter from different cities. Got to be boring. You know, car theft, gallon of milk from the delicatessen, you know, meat from the local Walmart. I hadn't realized Pokemon cards were that much of a collector's item that people are fucking stealing them from Walmart to resell them. They're competing with you, Jenny, except they're getting them a lot cheaper than you are. Yeah, they're just shoplifting them from Walmart and praying they don't get caught at the door as they sneak out. Yeah, you hear it constantly. Well, what did he... The judge is there like, well, Mr. Prosecutor, what did he steal? Well, he stole a pack of underwear, some socks, a jacket, and 6 packs of Pokemon cards. And even the judge is like, what? And the prosecutor said, you got grandkids, don't you? He goes, well, yeah. Ask them. I bet the judge went home that night and called. Little Jimmy, it's Grandpa Judge. Hi, Grandpa. What are Pokemon cards? And little Jimmy told him, you know. Yeah. God, steal something of, you know, food or No. And some of the stupid shit that people steal and get caught. Toothpaste, toothbrushes. Now you're homeless. Where are you going to brush your teeth? Out at the local fire hydrant? Yeah, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant. Well, I guess if you're homeless, you don't want to smell like a bum, you know. Steal something worthwhile. God, if you're homeless, steal food. Although one guy a couple weeks ago, he stole 50 boxes of mac and cheese. If you're homeless, how are you going to make mac and cheese? You can't eat it out of the box. That macaroni's a little crunchy. Yeah, he stole 50 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese on top of it. Yeah, not Velveeta. At least, if you steal Velveeta mac and cheese, the cheese is liquefied. It's not powder. So you could sit there and cut squeeze out the cheese. But yeah, 50 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese. He must have been stuffing them things everywhere. Part of the problem is they do not make you check your backpack at the service desk. Now, Walmart could eliminate a lot of theft if they told people, hey, we'll give you a number, we'll attach a number to your backpack, leave it here. But no, people walk through the store with their backpacks on. Invitation for theft. Although Walmart does have 7,000 cameras in. But yeah, if they made people, the problem is today, everybody carries a backpack. Women use them like their purses, you know. Why carry a purse? I'll carry my backpack. So it's an extension of a purse. But if they made people check them at the service desk, the theft would, not saying it would completely stop, because people are inventive where they stuff items. Just saying. My opinion. Well, I see Linda's here. Where's Jenny? Wrapping eBay packages. She could listen at least. She missed a good MC story. I'm trying to think of another good one. I mean, 99% of the, I'll say everybody, I'll say influential people that I drove, we had a good time. Although I broke the rules. And maybe this is why my trips always went so well. Because rules are you are not to engage with the customer unless they engage you. And this is kind of like across the board, because there is one nationwide limousine company that most limousine services buy a franchise where the rules, you get a rule sheet, you know, you got to have a certain tie. Yeah, this one limousine, you always, that's how you were identified as a driver for this nationwide franchise. It was a black and silver check tie. Every limousine service, they got sent a package of them. If you go out for XYZ franchise company, you had to put on this black and silver check tie. And you didn't hold up signs. That's how they identified you. They looked for the, which was stupid. Because then they'd walk, you know, are you here for me? Well, who are you? You knew. I mean, you'd have to be living up under a rock to not to know movie and TV stars and that. But, well, Grumpy's not the type to keep his mouth shut. I didn't care who it was. I engaged in conversation. And that's why my trips went so well. That's probably why I got bigger tips. I could not see boring. I would get whoever was in the car and I would ask them, how was your flight? Okay, thanks for asking. And then the conversation would go. What trivia program are you watching? You're not watching that one with Brian Seacrest, are you? No, Brian Seacrest does Wheel of Misfortune. Who hosts, just went brain dead. Alex Trebek, I'm brain dead. Jeopardy. Jeopardy. Is that what you're watching, Jenny? Jeopardy? I think she left. All she keeps calling it is trivia. The only trivia program I can think is Jeopardy or Wheel of Disfortune. Oh, I didn't know that. Everything is Discord today. I'm going to have to look into it. I'm not in any Discords, but I hear like this one streamer. At the end of her stream, she goes, I'll meet everybody in my Discord. Mainly because she goes in the Discord and she smokes that funny tobacco. Because she said last night, I can't wait to smoke me some marijuana in my Discord. I'm going to have to look into that. Is that something we could put up with? Faceplant and YouTube? Can I get Discord up here too as another streamer? See, there's another problem. Prism only allows certain social media programs. everybody was telling me, open a TikTok account. Because I guess if you want to go viral, you go on TikTok. Prism will not let me on TikTok. I can do Instagram, but they do not have TikTok. There's a whole list that you can add. Like, I started with Faceplant and then added YouTube. And I did have Instagram for a while, and then I got booted for some reason. But Prism has a list, and TikTok isn't on it. Because I wanted to try it. The only problem is with all of these, you gotta open an account. I don't want all these accounts. But in order for me to stream on Instagram, I had to open an account. So I opened an account. It's another goddamn username and password that you gotta memorize. And I was on probably about 3 months. And one day, I go to open up Prism, get ready to do a stream, and there's no Instagram up in the top. I had my useless tube and my faceplant and no Instagram. I was like, now what? So, I go into the list, I click Instagram, I sign in. It came up on top and disappeared. I was like, I thought I signed in right. So, second time. I put in my username, password, hit enter, and I got this, you have been basically banned from Instagram for 30 days. They won't tell you why. After 30 days, I said, screw them. I don't need it. I'll get one subscriber at a time. I'm up to 72. We're getting closer to that 100 mark. Yeah, but I figured Instagram, TikTok, I could boost my subscribers. No. For some reason, there's something with Prism and TikTok. TikTok don't want nothing to do with Prism, or Prism don't want, I can't. And from the list, I'll write them down tomorrow. Some of them I never heard of. I'm trying to think of what one of them was. I'll write them down tomorrow. I've never heard of some of these platforms. And I'm not going to open a bunch of accounts. So I'm happy with Faceplant and Useless Tube. I've been on both of them for over 3 years. I've never had a problem. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I hope that Mirrors can figure out how I can run a second camera. Just to try it. I'm sure my cat won't cooperate anyway. He's like, I ain't going on camera. You nuts. But I've noticed, like on, Restream and StreamYard or Streamlabs, Stream something, Riverside, EvMux, you can run 2 cameras. I looked today. I can't find anything. Now, I did find something about cell phone camera. I don't want to run a cell phone camera. I want to run a second static camera. I couldn't find anything about adding a second static camera. I could add my cell phone camera. I don't want to add my cell phone camera. I try to keep as much off of my cell phone as possible. No apps. Well, I got apps, but I mean, no new apps. But I couldn't find anything to run a second static camera here in the studio. Yeah, even if you gargle it, Prism has instructions to add a cell phone camera. I don't have the Prism mobile app. I don't want to put the mobile app on because I'm not going to drive down the freeway and be on Prism. I have enough problem the way it is. But yeah, I'm not going to be walking down the street doing a stream off my cell phone. No. I just want to add a second static camera. I've got one. Where is it? I thought it was right here. There it is. Another Logitech. I want to add a second static camera. It's right here. But I couldn't find anything. And I'm not going to... Oh, no. Oh, God. I just screwed up the edge of the console. Almost lost everything that was over there. What time is it in Australia? I know you guys are really in a different time zone. Where, as you can see, 8:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What time is it down under? And then I got a question. I'm sure you've probably been asked it many times, and you're going to say, Grumpy, you're an asshole. Is it true? Although you would have to be somewhere else. Is it true the water goes the opposite way when it goes down the drain? Ours goes clockwise. Is it true yours goes counterclockwise? It goes backwards? Holy shit. Really? You're having breakfast and coffee right now? Wow. Unbelievable. Well, no, it's believable, but it's Saturday, right? It's 8:24 a.m. Saturday. You're already in tomorrow. You're in tomorrow already. It's 8:24 a.m. Saturday morning. Now you're confusing the shit out of me. I see 8:24. No, that was Jenny. Oh, you guys got me all screwed up now. So it's after midnight. It's 12:26 p.m. Friday or Saturday? Because I thought you were a day ahead of us. I'm going to have to read up on my Australian history and everything. And what time is it across the pond? Because I know it's lunchtime Saturday. Yeah, I know when you cross the international date line, because the fun is New Year's Eve. Because Australia's the first one, I think, to celebrate New Year's Eve. And you're way ahead of us here in the States. I did that this year. I was watching, they were showing New Year's Eve around the world. I had the TV on back here. My big New Year's Eve extravaganza. Speaking, I just remembered something. Oh, we're going back quite a ways. I bought a JBC video camera. It's a cassette, not the old VHS. The camera records on a cassette, but in order to play it, you have to have an adapter, and you drop the cassette in the VHS adapter, and you put it in your tape player. On eBay, and this is it's got to be 20 years ago. Now, I have one of the cameras already. I've got a JVC cassette VHS camera. I wanted a second one. So I bought one on eBay. Not paying attention. I was bidding on it. And I won. Hey! So the shipping was like, now we're talking 20 years ago, the shipping was like $30, $35. And I was like, what? It was coming out of Brisbane via Seapost. Yeah. Not in a plane. In a freighter. Seapost. It took, I want to say, 28 days to get here. No, it was longer than that. at least a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It came by freighter. I had the label. I saved it because people didn't believe it. It said Sea Post on the shipping label. And it took forever to get here. But I wasn't paying attention when I bid on the camera. And then I win. And I looked at the shipping cost and went, God damn, you're gouging the shit out of me. And the girl went, well, it's coming from Australia. Didn't you pay any attention? And then I looked. Seller, Brisbane, Australia. I was like, holy shit. But I'll tell you what, she was nice. She said, hey, if you don't want to pay, I'll refund your money for the camera and I'll put it back up on eBay. And I was like, no, I bought it. I'm not going to be an asshole. Ship it. And I still have them. Both of them. I'll bring it in either tomorrow or Sunday. It's a VHS camera, but it records on a cassette. Neat little camera. But you have to buy a special adapter, which is a regular VHS tape. And you open the lid, and you drop the... Yeah, Grumpy's an idiot. I have 2 regular VHS cameras. I have 2 of the VHS-Cs. I have 3 VHS tape players. Yeah. And 2 cases of blank VHS tapes. Brand new. Never opened. And everybody's like, Grumpy, we're digital. You know, we record on thumb drives now. Not Grumpy. Yeah, every now and then I pull one of them cameras out and I'll record something and the kids in the neighborhood are like, what the hell is that contraption? It's a camera. Video camera. And they're like, video camera. And I'm like, no. Big video camera. That's because back in the day, I used to freelance. I did a lot of freelancing, mainly at the auto shows. I didn't do much during the year. The auto show, I went in and would photograph all the new cars and sold them to different automotive magazines and a couple of newspapers and that. Yeah, I used to be a freelance photographer, and then I did some freelance videography but yeah. Oh, I've dipped my toe in a lot of job waters over the years. It was a good gig. I mean, I would sign up on a board and let them know I was available, and I could either accept an assignment or turn it down. I remember the one assignment, I had to go out and buy a bunch of special lenses for my camera because I had to go to the Cleveland Atrium. I think it was Cleveland Atrium, and photograph flowers. Yeah. We had a show with a bunch of tropical flowers from around the world. And this one magazine, I wasn't paying attention to when I took the job. I had to go buy a bunch of macro lenses for my camera because they wanted pictures of the little stamens inside the camera, or inside the flower, Pain in the ass. It paid all right. But Grumpy wasn't into photographing flowers. I was into photographing cars. I didn't pay much attention to that assignment. And yeah, it come up on the board, and I was like, oh, it's right here in Cleveland. I'll take it. Before I read what it was for. And then it was like, go to the Cleveland Atrium, to the tropical flower display, and photograph the flowers from around the world. And then it went into detail, and they're like, we want super close-ups. I had to buy macro lenses. I didn't own any. And I never used them after that. That's what was a pain in the ass. I had to go out and buy $500 worth of goddamn camera lenses and never used them again. That's when I was shooting film cameras. SLR. Single lens reflex, not DSLR. On a little memory card. Roll of film. I ended up selling all that. Cameras, lenses. I had lenses that were like from this to like this. I had one lens that was what? That big around. Real telephoto lens. I mean, they make them big-ass lenses for the digital cameras. But yeah, I had some monster ones. The one lens was so big, I had a monopod, which is basically just a stick, to hold the end of the lens while I shot the picture, because the lens was so long and heavy. Trying to think. That was a Canon lens too. I think that lens was like $2,000. Yeah. Lenses, well, they're not cheap today either, but back in the day they were. The good thing was I made enough to cover my investment and put a few bucks in my pocket. But I mainly did car shows. Do some interviews, and then sell them to the auto magazines. But I got bored with that after a while. Time to move on and do something new. That's why I had so many goddamn jobs, because I would get bored and then try something else and go, ugh, this ain't for me. Although, before the rules changed, for a year, I drove an ambulance. Oh boy, was I a fucking maniac. Give Grumpy red lights and a siren and get the hell out of my way. Yeah, that was fun. And then the rules changed. Every person on the ambulance had to be an EMT. Or is it a paramedic or an EMT? Whatever the lesser one is. I think EMT. Whatever. See, you used to be able to be just a driver. And then everybody on the ambulance had to be certified. And there went my lights and siren job. But yeah, I did that for about a year. It's amazing how people get the hell out of your way when you're cranking lights and siren and an air horn. Scared the shit out of a lot of little old ladies, I'll say that. I know, Grumpy, you're an idiot. But it was fun. Until they changed the rules, and I'm like, damn it. Oh, it was fun. It was fun. I don't know if the patient enjoyed the ride, but yeah. Because the ambulance that we had one of them big, giant fire engine sirens on the front bumper. And I would wind that sucker up and scare the fuck out of people. Trying to think what it was what the hell make was that goddamn ambulance? I think it was a Dodge. No. What the hell was that goddamn ambulance? Oh, it was a Ford 850. Big monster. It was fun. That big ass chrome siren on the front bumper. Just like a fire truck. And then we had the electronic one, yeah, whoop, 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 but come into an intersection and, you know, you're coming down and you got the red light. You want to freeze that traffic, I'd wind that. It's a federal class Q. Gargle it. Federal siren and signal, class Q siren. Big mother. It's that big monster that you see on the front bumper of the fire trucks. Loud. Sounds like an air raid siren. And I had a button right down on the floorboard by my left foot. I'd come up to an intersection and stomp on that button. And scare the shit out of everybody. But then the rules changed. And my boss come to me one day and he goes, I got some bad news for you, Grumpy. I said, what? You can't drive anymore. What? You gotta be an EMT. Oh, shit. I ain't going to school just to drive. Well, see, you had to jump seats. So maybe one day I'm driving, and then the next day I'm tending to a patient. No. I don't want nothing to do with the people in the back. I had one bad experience. Story time. we were short one man. So I had to deal with a stretcher. Usually I just drove. So three floors up, this idiot decides to shoot herself right here. Now, it was one of these weird old apartment buildings where you had a set of stairs, then a landing, and a set of stairs and a landing, but you had 3 stories straight up. She's up on the 3rd floor. So, we get her loaded on the stretcher. And first of all, we start down the stairs. Now, I'm at the top, and my buddy Bruce is at the foot. And we're coming down the stairs, and she's screaming. And I'm like, what are you... Well, we found out she was afraid she was going to slip off the stretcher. And she was hanging on the edge of the stretcher. We were smashing her hands against the fucking wall as we were coming down the stairs. So we told her, put your hands in. So we get down the first flight of stairs. We got 2 more flights to go. I'm at the top, and Bruce is at the bottom, okay? And Bruce is like, and I was like, Bruce, hold it. He's like, and he sneezed and he fucking let go. Well, when he let go, I let go. And down 2 flights of stairs, that stretcher went end over end over end over end. When it got to the bottom, she landed face first. So we picked the stretcher up and we flipped it over. We get to the hospital, and the nurse said, according to our records, it's just a gunshot wound. How come she's all beat up? I said, well, that's the way we found her. And luckily, she got knocked unconscious. And she couldn't remember what happened. Because we'd have caught some shit. But yeah, Bruce is starting to sneeze, and I'm like, Bruce, hold it. Nope. He sneezed and let go. I wasn't going to go down with that stretcher, so I let go. And it went end over end over end. Bam! Luckily, nobody was around. We flipped it back over on the wheels and loaded it back in, and to the hospital we went. That nurse, she's looking at the chart, you know. It's supposed to be a gunshot wound. It's the way we found her. And the nurse is like, on the 3rd floor? Yeah, found her that way. Just loaded her on a stretcher and brought her in. Thank God she didn't remember going down them stairs. In a way, it was good Grumpy didn't drive ambulance anymore. Yeah. I can see it. Bruce at the foot of that stretcher. I'm like, Bruce, hold it. Nope. Bruce couldn't hold it. And neither could Grumpy. Yeah, when he let go, I let go. And we just watched it go down the stairs. Bing, 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 bing. Luckily, there was nobody around. Oh, God, there'd have been hell to pay. I'd have still been paying on that lawsuit. Yeesh. And believe it or not, matter of fact, he just retired. He was a paramedic for a fire department. He just retired in December from basically shortly. I think he got on the fire department a year after the stairway incident and had a career as a paramedic up until December last year. He retired. I went to his retirement party. And I got up and told the story about the stretcher and embarrassed the fuck out of him. I had to tell a story. I had to tell it. It was this last. They kept saying, really? I said, oh yeah, I watched that thing go end over end. I said, Bruce let go and stepped aside. And then all night long they were, really, Bruce, you did that? Yes. I let the cat out of the bag. I embarrassed the shit out of him on his retirement night. And then he corners me, goes, you had to tell that story, didn't you? I said, they wanted me to speak. Well, couldn't you have said nice things? I did. I said, you nicely let go of the stretcher and stepped aside. And then we both watched it go end over end. It was funny because his lieutenant said, thank God I didn't know that when we hired you. Yeah. And Grumpy told that story. He had never worked for a fire department or an ambulance company. But he did quite well. He made a career out of it. But he went, took all the college courses and did the medical at the hospital. And it's a pain in the ass to get EMT, paramedic, whatever. Paramedic, I think. I think it's EMT and then paramedic. Yeah, because I would have been an EMTA, which basically would have said EMT ambulance as a driver, I think. I don't remember. God, it was over 30 years ago. But yeah, he made a career out of it. And then I ruined his career at his retirement party. It's amazing he still talks to me. I see him every now and then. I run into him in the grocery store. The first thing he says, don't say nothing. Okay. Because he knows I'm going to bring that up. Say, Bruce, remember when? I tried to forget for 30 years, goddamn you. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Jenny didn't see the bird. Come on, bird. Show the stupid thing you did today. Remember yesterday with press? Look what he did today. Reporter. Yeah. Get back in your corner, you idiot. Yeah. Reporter. Dumb bird. Okay. I think it's outdoor time. Grumpy's got to make his hot Slovenian sausage for dinner. Yeah, I eat dinner after the show. My doctor loves it. He's like, can't you be a normal person and eat like at 5, 6 o'clock? I said, no. It all has to do with the last job that I had because I worked second shift. I can't get out of that habit. You know, you get in a habit, you come home, at the end of your second shift, sit down, relax a little bit, then make dinner. Well, I've been in that bad habit for years. And I can't, if I eat dinner at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm starving. So, I eat dinner at 9 o'clock. I watch TV until midnight and then go to bed. And then I have insomnia, and I'm lucky if I fall asleep at 4 a.m. Talk about a screwed up. I'm lucky I only have to catch hell from my doctor every 3 months. You still on that goofy-ass dinner schedule? Yep. Tells me it's bad for my health. Yeah. So was the cancer, doc. Jeez. Cut me some slack. No. See, it wanted to play that damn intro. I don't. When I get done playing the intro, I X out of the music program. Completely. When I open the tablet to play the outro, it goes right to the music program intro. And then I have to stop it in order to play the outro. Okay, outro time. Here we go. Where's my clicker? Gotta get my... oh, I can't find my clicker. There we go. Now, we know where. Right here. WDWL TV. 7 o'clock. I nailed it tonight. Believe me, it was hard to... But I thank everybody for putting up with me tonight. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, I bid everybody a wonderful rest of your evening or morning, wherever you're at. And we will see you tomorrow or today.